Hey guys, how's it going? Today's video is going to be a 24-hour reading vlog. It is midnight, I just woke up from a nap, hence my pajamas and my messy hair. Also, this is always how my hair is. Every time I wake up, Comet likes to sleep on my head. Like, we share the pillow and she rests her head on my head. It's the cutest thing, but it makes my hair a mess. Anyway, I am going to be reading for the next 24 hours. Which might be a bad idea because I'm not planning on sleeping, and I got up early this morning and it was a busy day, and I just took a nap for an hour, so maybe this is a terrible idea, but we'll find out. I'm going to just kind of brush my teeth real quick and get slightly more presentable, and then I'll check in and let you know what my reading plans are. Alright, I'm back. I brushed my teeth, I put on a fuzzy sweater, I put on a hat because honestly I'm not going to shower. So might as well wear a hat because my hair looks really greasy. It actually, well, yeah, the camera makes it look worse than it did in the mirror. The main reason is because I just got a new tattoo. It's on my leg. I'll show you guys later on once I have it cleaned and whatnot. But basically, it's not ready to shower with it yet. And washing my hair and then having like shampoo and conditioner running down my body and getting on my fresh brand new tattoo isn't super great for tattoos. And my skin is a little bit sensitive and I don't heal well anyways, so yeah, that's a long explanation to just say I'm wearing a hat. Anyway, I am just going to quickly go over my game plan. My first two books aren't going to be much of a surprise if you saw my March TBR, but I'm going to be starting with Still Alice by Lisa Genova, and then sticking with the Alice theme, I'm going to be reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. This is also on my March TBR, and I don't know how much of it I'm going to get through, but I'm going to try to get a good chunk of it done. On top of those, I have my e-reader here, and I am 28% of the way through Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna McGuire. I started this when I was on my way to my appointment today because I just had my e-reader with me. It was easy to throw in my bag, and I was reading it on the bus. And that's a really short book, so I'm hoping to finish that one today. And I am also reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I'm also probably going to be picking out an audiobook to make a little bit of progress in because I know that I'm not going to want to be physically reading for 24 hours straight. There's some other things I have to do. I should probably eat at some point, etc. And that one I haven't, hey Comet, picked out yet. It kind of depends on what's available because for the most part, yes Comet. Comet's confused because we were laying down and cuddling and now I'm out of bed. And she thought that it was sleeping and cuddling time and she doesn't understand. I know. Life is hard, isn't it, Comet? I know. Like I was trying to say, I get my audiobooks from the Overdrive app through my library, so it depends on what my local library has available, but I'll pick that out when the time comes. But for now, that is my game plan. I think I'm going to be starting with Still Alice. This is the story of a woman who is very successful, very intelligent. She's a professor at Harvard, and her whole identity basically revolves around her intelligence. And then she gets early onset Alzheimer's and starts, losing her memory, losing her cognitive abilities. Hey, Comet. And basically just the struggle of that. And I saw the movie, I loved the movie, and I'm very interested in reading the book and crying. So let's just get this off to a great start and read a book that hopefully will make me cry.
Hi, Comet. Hello.
Alright, so it has been about an hour. I am about 70 pages into Still Alice. I'm taking a short break from this book, I think, because I'm getting emotional. I didn't cry yet. I got teary, but I didn't cry yet. I just passed the part where she got her official Alzheimer's diagnosis. I didn't realize how quickly the book moves into her Alzheimer's. I kind of thought that we were going to see more of her regular life and everything, but right from the very beginning you start noticing the symptoms and her memory problems and stuff, which was unexpected but interesting. And I don't know, I find stuff like this very emotional and very difficult. I've had loved ones go through Alzheimer's, I've had my own struggles with memory. Long story short, I'll probably talk about it later, but long story short, I spent a year on a medication that wiped out my memory, and I have almost no memories from that year. I was joking that I was like a goldfish with Alzheimer's because I used humor to cope with things, but it really wasn't that far of an exaggeration. Like, I had no memory, and I forgot where I lived multiple times. I couldn't tell you my birthday more often than not. So yeah, I don't know, it's just something that's really scary to me, and I'm getting very anxious and emotional reading this book just because you're so in her head and you're watching it. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm really enjoying the book, and it's really well written, and Comet has been enjoying it too. Yes, baby? Hello. Hi. Thank you. So I think that I want to lighten things up, and I'm going to read a little bit more of Every Had a Doorway, because I want something a little bit more whimsical, I think. So yeah, I'm going to read that for a little while. I'm going to get up, stretch my legs, find somewhere else to sit, and I will check in a little bit. Hello again. I just finished Every Had a Doorway. I really liked it. I do definitely think, though, that it was too short, but it's like less than 200 pages. How many pages was it? Like 180? I don't remember, but it's a novella, technically, not a full novel. So yeah, I really liked it. I found it super interesting. I liked the vibe of it. I like a lot of magic, and I don't know, I really, really liked it. The characters were interesting enough. Also, I'm going to be getting cereal. The characters were interesting enough, but I do definitely think that it was too short, and that definitely made it suffer a little bit. I think that, that's not the open honeycomb, this one is. I think that it, I don't know, either should have had less characters to introduce us to, or more story. I don't know, part of what made it work, I think, is that it was a novella. I think it just, something about it really fits that. But I also think that, I don't know, I just feel like we didn't quite have enough time to really stew and marinate with the plot of what was going on. Talking while crunkling bags is a bad idea. I'm tired. I need to wake up. It's only 3 a.m., so it's not even that late at night. Anyways, okay, now that I have my cereal, I'm going to readjust the camera. 1 second. Like I was saying, I did enjoy it, but I did find it a little bit too short or too quick or something, but it was still really good. I'm definitely still going to continue with the series. I have heard that you don't necessarily have to read them in order, so I don't know if it follows the same cast of characters specifically, so I don't know. I'll look into it. But for now, I'm going to eat some cereal, because after reading about violent, gory deaths at 3 in the morning, you might as well have a bowl of cereal. And I'm going to read a little bit more of Still Alice. So that's my game plan, and I'll check in a little bit. I just got to the part where her diagnosis gets officially, beyond a shadow of a doubt, confirmed. They're with her husband, which isn't a spoiler. Like, it's about a woman with Alzheimer's. Obviously, it's confirmed at some point. And it's just... I cried so much faster than I thought I would, because he's just so insistent on checking for everything. It's just because he loves her so much and he doesn't want her to go through something like that. So he's just like fighting so hard for her, even though there's not a damn thing he can do. He just wants them to test and be sure, because so yeah, it's a really good book, and I got what I wanted out of it. I got my crying. Ugh. Her really like stoic and scientific and almost cold husband just started crying. Ooh, that'll get me. That'll get me. Good morning. Alright, so I fell asleep. Also, Comet hair. I read a decent chunk more of Still Alice. I got to the part, and I knew it was coming because, like I said, I saw the movie. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but she got to the part where she makes her daily reminder list and her plan of what to do if she forgets anything on that list. And it was just really, really emotional, and I started crying again. So I decided to take another Still Alice break, and I ended up getting an audiobook from my local library. I love the Overdrive app and my local library. It is awesome. But basically, you can have like 500 books on your wish list, and you can also put holds on so that you'll be next in line for whenever it does become available. Or you can just put it on your wish list, and then when you're looking for a book to read, you can go on your wish list and you can sort it by available now, and then it's all the books that you want to read that are currently available. Like, that's awesome. So anyway, I ended up picking out What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I honestly don't think I'm going to love it, but I had it on my wish list because I was curious about it, because after I read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, I just absolutely adored that book. It was one of my all-time favorite books that I read last year. It was so, so good. I don't think that this one is going to be quite as up my alley, I would say, as the other one, because I think what I loved most— Hi Comet, you fell from the heavens. I think what I love so much about They Both Die at the End is how sad it was, and I liked the premise, and I liked how there was this sense of dread the whole time. And What If It's Us is this sense of cute. And I'm not as into cute, unless we're talking about Comet. Comet's pretty cute. Right, babe? Right. So yeah, I really don't think that I'm going to love it, but I won't know until I try. And I listened to that for about 2 hours last night, but my back was kind of sore because, like I said, I had my tattoo appointment yesterday, and it was just a really awkward angle for a long time. Comet, you're about to flash the whole internet. You can't do that. That's illegal. So my tattoo is kind of like a little bit off to the side of my leg. Good morning, Ripley. And it was just an awkward angle, and I was laying down for a while, and my back was sore. So anyways, I decided— aw, sisters. So I decided to lay down for a little bit just to make my back feel a little bit better. And then I was crying before because I was reading Still Alice, and I don't know about you, but crying always makes me tired. Like, crying is the best way to fall asleep. That sounds so depressing. But you know what I mean? So anyways, I ended up reading more of that, and then I laid in bed and listened to the audiobook. And since I was just listening to an audiobook, I figured I might as well close my eyes. And yeah, I fell asleep. But that means that I slept for like 5 hours. So I'm a little bit bummed because it means that my 24-hour readathon won't be full 24 hours straight of reading. But this is also my first 24-hour readathon, so I'm going to let myself— Ripley, get out from under the bed, please. So for this one, I'll just read as much as I can in a 24-hour period, and then maybe next time I'll stay up for 24 hours straight, and maybe next time I'll plan it a little bit better. Anyways, all that aside, I did wake up a little while ago, and I've been listening to more What If It's Us, and so far I'm just not really attached to it. Like, I don't really care about a romance between two boys that randomly met for like 5 minutes in a post office. I'm not rooting for them to be together because I don't care about their romance. They don't have a romance yet. But like I said, I won't know until I try, so I'm going to do a couple more things around the house, read a little bit more, and we'll check in a little bit. Also, look at my newest tattoo! Isn't she the cutest little thing? Okay, the second cutest little thing. Hello again. I am about halfway through What If It's Us, and I'm just not invested. It's definitely not bad. It's just a contemporary romance, which is not my genre at all. And it's a very YA romance, and I don't care about teenage love because I don't. So yeah, not really my cup of tea, but I'm listening to it and I'm playing My Time at Portia because it's such a freaking good game. Also, guys, Animal Crossing comes out in a couple days. I don't know when this is going to be posted. It depends on how much footage I have. I don't know how long it would take to edit this. So probably by the time you're watching it, Animal Crossing is already out. So if you're watching this, I'm probably currently playing Animal Crossing. So what I've been doing is I've been playing a ton of My Time at Portia because honestly, I know that I'm not going to play it much over the next little while once Animal Crossing comes out. So I'm trying to get far in the main storyline. I've already beat the whole game like multiple times. This is the first time I'm playing it on the Switch though. I have it for Steam and I've beaten through the game. See, it's hard to count it because I played it when it was in early alpha stages. So I beat the game, but the game wasn't finished, and now they keep re-adding things, and anyways, I'm rambling right now. But I'm playing that because where I've already beaten the game a couple times, I don't have to, read all of the dialogue and watch all of the cutscenes, so it's good for multitasking, hi Comet, with an audiobook. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, but I'm really not feeling this book very much, so I think I might read something else for a tiny bit and kind of see how that goes. Hello again. Alright, so I am on part 7 of 8 of What If It's Us. Still not super attached to it, and I think I've just accepted the fact that this book isn't really for me, which I kind of expected, but because I loved Adam Silvera's last book so much, I decided to give it a chance, and that's okay. I just feel like I'm not really connecting with the characters. Like, they're fine, I just don't care about them, I guess. Like, I'm just not attached to it. I don't care about the stakes. It's a teenage summer romance, and I don't care. I also was expecting there to be more, like, almosts, I guess, in the very beginning, because the premise of the book is they keep, like, almost getting together and then something goes wrong, or, like, they keep almost having these, like, cute meetups and then something happens. And I just kind of expected that to go on for a little bit longer, but it didn't, which really isn't anything bad, and I think that if you liked the romance, maybe that would be good, but because I didn't care about them actually being together, I was more looking forward to all the different ways that they would not be together, if that makes sense. I also read a little bit more Still Alice. It is still so heartbreaking. I just got to the part where she's talking to one of her daughters, and for the first time she doesn't know that's who she is. And this book is just so sad and so heartbreaking. The thing about this book is I'm not too afraid of spoilers, because it's a woman with Alzheimer's, and you know that she's just going to keep getting worse. There isn't a cure for Alzheimer's. And you kind of know what happens, you know, when you have Alzheimer's, you start forgetting things, you stop recognizing your loved ones all the time, you start getting confused and lost. So most of what I'm saying isn't spoilery, it's just kind of expected, but I'm not going to go into specific details because I still think those, like, sharp moments are really heartbreaking. Like, there's one scene in here, this is a very mild spoiler, but I don't know, skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want any spoilers at all. But there is a scene in here where she's going to be going for a run with her husband, and she goes back in to get a sweater, and then she forgets that she's in there for a sweater, so she starts reading a book, and then she goes back outside, and then he reminds her, so she goes in, and then she realizes that she's going to go pee right before, so she goes back into the house, and then she's looking for the sweater that she's already wearing, and then she can't remember why she's in there, and then on her way out of the house, like, she really needs to pee, and she can't remember where her own bathroom is in her house, and she ends up having an accident, and it's something that's just so heartbreaking and vulnerable, and I don't know, I got really emotional at that scene. I'm choking up again. But her husband comes back inside and finds her, and, you know, he hugs her, he tells her it's okay, and he, like, helps her get cleaned up after. And I just can't stop thinking about how that's exactly what my dad would do for my mom. Like, he would completely play it off, and he would completely play it off and just go into take care of her mode and just let it hurt him afterwards. Because it's terrifying to watch someone you love go through something like that. I think that something this book does so well is that Alzheimer's is almost about your loved one more than it's about yourself. Like, it's terrible for you, and it's scary, and as someone who's dealt with terrible levels of memory loss and not knowing who I was or where I was or completely losing track of time, like, it is terrifying, but it almost gets to the point where it's blissful ignorance, and it's your loved ones that are stuck. I don't want to say dealing with it because that sounds so harsh, but it's your loved ones that are stuck with the heartbreak because they know what's going on because you don't. And just knowing that your loved ones are going to keep coming and visiting you, and knowing that you might not know who they are, and just having to be ready for that. Because I've been on both sides of this situation. I've been, you know, visiting people that don't know who I am anymore, and I don't know, it's really emotional, which is exactly what I wanted out of this book. It is so well written, and I'm crying so much. And I can see myself so much in this main character, like somebody who was always smart and who was really proud of how smart they were. And, like, there's one part in this that one thing that happens with Alzheimer's is that your concentration gets so bad that you can't read anymore after a certain point because you can't retain the short-term information long enough to get through a paragraph, for example. And that's, you know, even when you're still mentally capable of reading, you can't read a novel. And she's talking about how she realized that she's never going to finish all the books she wanted to read, which is the same with anybody. Like, This is booktube. I'm sure you guys all have way more books than we'll ever have time to read because there are just so many books coming out all the time that you can never read every book in the world. That's impossible. But just knowing that you have a deadline and that you don't know when that deadline is going to be, you just know that you're going to be here and you're going to still have the desire to read and you're going to completely lose the ability. And I don't know, there's so many really just straight to the heart moments in this that are shattering my whole heart and soul, and I am loving it so much. So yeah, so I think I'm going to start reading The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I'm going to read a little bit more of that. I am 18% of the way through. So yeah, I'm going to make a little bit more progress on that and eat, and I'll check in a little bit. Look at that. 2 bestest buddies. This is my view when I'm reading. Hello again. Alright, it is about 11 p.m. I have been reading so much today. I did not read any more Still Alice since the last time I checked in. I listened to more What If It's Us, and I read more The Last Time I Lied. I don't think that I'm going to get to Alice in Wonderland, but that's okay. I'm really enjoying what I am getting to, and I finished a book, so I'm really happy with all that. I have about 30 minutes left in the audiobook for What If It's Us, and I'm 50% of the way through The Last Time I Lied, and I have about 100 pages left of Still Alice. On one hand, I kind of want to just finish at midnight because that's 24 hours, but because I fell asleep, I kind of want to see if I can go over that, so I don't know, we'll see, but I think I'm going to read a little bit more The Last Time I Lied. I'm enjoying it. I am having a fun time trying to figure out the mystery because I don't know, I've just been in such a mystery mood lately, but there's almost too much going on and too many different possibilities, and we don't know enough yet that, I don't know, I don't really have any solid theories, but I'm enjoying it. I'm obviously enjoying Still Alice, still crying a lot. And I'm still not really enjoying What If It's Us, but oh well. So I'm going to get back to reading and see how much I can finish before midnight, so I'll check in probably about an hour. Hello again. It is just after midnight. My 24-hour readathon is officially done. This went really, really good. Aside from the fact that I fell asleep, I'll do more planning next time, but there's definitely going to be a next time because I really freaking enjoyed this. I finished Every Heart a Doorway. I finished The Last Time I Lied. I finished What If It's Us, and I only have 100 pages left of Still Alice. I'll go into my more in-depth thoughts when I do my wrap-up, but overall, I'd say that I would give Every Heart a Doorway like an 8 out of 10. There were a couple issues that I had with it, and some things that either weren't quite followed through on or weren't expanded enough, like some things like that, but it definitely made me really intrigued, and I'm definitely going to be finishing off the series as soon as I can, and I really liked what we did get, so that one was really good. I did like The Last Time I Lied. I think I want to give it like a 7 out of 10. I don't know, it's definitely not bad, but I don't know, I just wish there was a little bit more something, like more twists. The ending had a really nice twist in it, but I don't know, I think I just wanted a little bit more, but it was still really good, really enjoyable. What If It's Us was not for me. I want to give it like a 4 out of 10. The narrators were actually really, really good, especially the narrator who narrated Ben's parts. I have to look it up to see who did it, but I really thought that they did a great job. Just so much emotion and character just through that narration, and that was just really, really cool. So yeah, that made the book a little bit more enjoyable, but again, I don't care about romance. I liked the ending. I thought that the ending was fine, but it's just definitely not my cup of tea, and that's completely fine. And finally, Still Alice. Like I said, I have about 100 pages left. I'll probably finish this tomorrow. It is heartbreaking in the best way possible. It's difficult to read in a really enjoyable way. Like, it's subject matter that's just very painful and difficult, and it's just done really, really well in my opinion. So really enjoying that. So I think that this was a hella impressive 24 hours. I almost finished 4 books, and I'm just really, really happy with this. So I will definitely be doing this again sometime. Maybe next time I'll announce it on Twitter, so if anybody else wants to do like reading sprints or read-alongs or anything like that, we could coordinate something. But this was kind of a last-minute decision that I wasn't really positive how it was going to work out. But it went really well, so I am pleased. So I guess that is all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please click the like button to let me know, and subscribe to stay up to date with the rest of my videos. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, usually reading or writing related. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!